April 5, 1792, First Veto. President George Washington issued the first presidential veto in United States history. This action, though simple in procedure, carried lasting constitutional and political weight. The vetoed legislation concerned the apportionment of representatives among the states following the first national census conducted in 1790. The bill proposed a new method of calculating representation that would have increased the number of seats for northern states while reducing representation for southern states. Washington's decision to veto the bill not only affirmed the constitutional limits of legislative power, but also set a precedent for executive authority. The veto power, established in Article 1, Section 7 of the U.S. Constitution, gave the president the right to reject bills passed by Congress. However, until 1792, this power had not been exercised. The bill in question aimed to increase the House of Representatives from 65 to 120 members. Congress approved the bill on March 26, 1792, after debates that highlighted sectional differences between the North and South. The apportionment method proposed by Congress used a formula that did not comply with the Constitution's requirement that representatives be apportioned among the states according to their respective populations. President Washington consulted with his cabinet before acting. Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton supported the bill, believing the apportionment to be acceptable. Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson and Attorney General Edmund Randolph disagreed, arguing that the bill violated the constitutional rule of one representative for every 30,000 inhabitants. Washington accepted the arguments of Jefferson and Randolph. On April 5, 1792, he returned the bill to the House of Representatives with a formal message explaining his objections. This was the first time a president challenged the legislative branch directly under the Constitution's separation of powers. The House attempted to override the veto, but failed to achieve the required two-thirds majority. As a result, the apportionment bill did not become law. Congress subsequently drafted a new apportionment bill that aligned with the constitutional standards, which Washington signed into law on April 14, 1792. This series of events confirmed the executive's role as a constitutional check on congressional power. The 1792 veto was historically significant, not only for being the first of its kind, but also for establishing a practice of judicial-like review by the executive. It reinforced the importance of constitutional adherence in legislative acts. Washington's careful approach to the decision, including seeking legal opinions from cabinet members, reflected his dedication to balanced government. The event also highlighted early tensions in American politics over representation and regional interests, issues that would continue to shape the nation's political landscape for decades. By exercising the veto power responsibly and within constitutional limits, Washington set a tone for future presidents. His decision demonstrated that the executive could engage constructively with the legislative process without overstepping its bounds. The first veto remains a foundational moment in the history of American governance. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.